What country are you from?
I'm from France.
I'm from the US.
From Ireland.
I want to ask you, what aspects of Japan you think is superior to your country, France? What aspect of Japan do you think is superior to Canada? What aspects of your country now do you think is superior to Japan? Wow!
Hello everyone, how you guys going? 皆さんご機嫌いかがでしょうか？今日も可能性無限大 This is タロサックということで、今日の動画では日本があなたの国より劣っていると思う点はどこ？来日観光客に聞いてみたというテーマでやっていきたいと思います。僕自身の海外の方と交流してきた経験から見ても、日本に来たことがある外国人100人中リアルに95人くらいがこう言うと思います。日本いいですよね。食べ物も美味しいし、綺麗だしも最高な国です。非常に多くの人がそう感じてくれている。ちょっと前までですね、僕ずっと九州の都会から田舎までいろいろ滞在してたんですけど、観光地っていうところにはもう大体外国人観光客がいて、レストランなんかも僕に関してはもうコテコテの日本食のお店と結構選んでたんですけど、お客さん半分以上外国人みたいな感じで、本当に来日してる外国人の数が半端じゃないなと感じた。そして皆さんも感じているであろう今日この頃、日本がいいのは分かっちょる。でも日本にはこれが足りてないよね。日本にこれがあったら本当に世界最高なのにな。こういったところも知りたいじゃないですか。少なくとも僕はこういう本音を外国人から聞きたいんですよね。ということで今回の動画では来日外国人に自分の国と比べて日本は一体どんな点で優れていて、そして逆にどういう点で劣っていると思うのか。さらにもっとこうだったら日本本当に最高なのになって思う点はあるのか。こういったところを聞いていってですね、この素晴らしい日本の伸びしろを外国人目線から見つけていく、そんなインタビュー動画を今回は東京で撮っていきたいと思います。僕のチャンネルでは様々なトピックに関する外国人へのインタビュー動画ですとか、英語学習に関するコンテンツを毎週配信しております。見るだけで頭の中がグローバル化すること間違いなし。面白いと思ってもらえた方はチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。ということで今日も早速いきましょう。
What country are you from?
I'm from France.
You're from France. Okay, we've been speaking for maybe more than a couple of minutes before we started filming the video, but you don't have much French accent.
No, I tried not to.
Yeah.
I've been learning English for a long time.
Okay.
So I kind of try to practice as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I don't sound like a very French person speaking.
But because I live in Australia, I see many French people there. Like Japanese, not everyone's good at speaking English, but I don't find any problems. Do you live in France at the moment?
Yep, I live in Paris right
Okay.
now, but I come from the south of France,
Okay.
near Marseille.
Near Marseille.
Marseille.
Okay, must be a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful.
Okay. How long have you stayed in Japan so far?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. Is this your first stay in Japan?
Second.
Second stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
You must love Japan then.
Yeah,
What was
I
it?
really do.
What was the reason that you came to Japan for the first time?
First time was a kind of medical congress
Yeah.
in Japan.
Oh. Is
And-
that related to your job or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. And so we went to Kyoto, then Hakone, and then Tokyo, but it was only for 1 week.
Yeah.
We did a lot of things.
I like your accent. Hakone.
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 I'm trying.
Yeah.
And it was not enough for me.
Yeah.
So I had to come back.
How long did you say?
1 week.
1 week.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. It was a first good shot,
Yeah.
but not enough.
Okay.
So I decided to come back to learn Japanese then.
To learn Japanese.
学生です。
あら、本当ですか？
少し日本語。
Slow, yeah. So you're learning Japanese?
Yeah, 1 month. 1月。
Okay. You know, the people learning Japanese must love Japan. What made you interested in Japan so much?
I've been interested in Japan since I was like 4 years old.
What?
When I saw my first Miyazaki movie.
Oh, Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Ghibli. How can you say Ghibli in French?
In French, we say Ghibli.
Ghibli, yeah. Actually, in many countries, people
Yeah.
say Ghibli.
Yeah. I think I learned
Ghibli.
this year. It's Ghibli.
Yeah, okay.
Actually.
Okay, what did you watch for the first time?
Mononoke.
Mononoke Hime is legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her. Oh my god, I love her.
Okay.
And since then, I've always been interested in the Japanese culture, whether for the food,
Yeah.
of course, for the philosophy,
Yeah.
for the landscapes, many things,
Okay.
and the language.
And the language as well.
Of course.
All right, let's get into the main questions of this video. I want to ask you, what aspects of Japan you think is superior to your country, France?
I'd say that Japanese people are very respectful, and you can feel it like everywhere. It's also very clean.
Clean.
Yeah, it is.
France, we have the image of France, which is pretty clean. Nah.
It is not that much.
Okay. Not actually.
Not actually.
Yeah.
And also, I think you can feel very safe in Japan. Also, well, at least for my time being here, I've always felt very safe.
To walk around by yourself.
Yeah, totally. And like could be during the day or at night, like visiting some places, going from place A to place B all the time. I always felt safe. So this is really enjoyable.
You don't feel like that in your country?
No. Like for example, in Paris, I won't be walking by myself at night.
Well, like, what are you worried about? What could happen?
Weirdos,
Weirdos, yeah, weirdos.
pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Be careful about weirdos in France when you go there. Okay, all right. Let's say even you have weirdos everywhere anyway. Even you have weirdos, I believe that you have some aspects of France which could be better than Japan. So what could it be?
Well, it might be random, but cheese.
Cheese.
I
That's
miss
so true.
cheese.
Cheese. Yes.
That's the only thing I actually miss from
Yeah.
France right now. Like we have thousands of different cheeses with many tastes and colors and whatever. And well, it's good for me because I'm a kind of a detox of cheese right now.
Detox of
But
cheese.
yet, I think I could have a bit of appetizers with cheese, like we do in France.
Yeah.
I think this is the thing I miss the most right now, and we could
Yeah.
have some more in Japan. Could be
Okay.
nice to mix the gastronomy.
Yeah, mix the gastronomy.
Yeah.
Have you tried any like wines here?
Yeah.
Because wines are pretty good in France as well. Yeah?
Yeah, they are.
How's a wine specialist? Is that okay here?
It is okay, but
Could be
it
better.
could be better.
Yeah, could be
I
better.
will have more of a socho or sake here.
Okay.
Haiboru as well.
Oh, highboru.
Oh my god, daisuki
Oh,
haiboru.
you like that? You don't have a highboru in France? People don't do that.
No. First time I tried it was here.
Yeah, it's a good combination, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, definitely.
Actually, it's not only you. I used to have a British girlfriend when I was younger in Japan, and because of that, I, interacted with many people from overseas, and they're like, "I don't like Japanese cheese." They miss cheese, so you're not only one. Okay, so the last question. I know Japan's a good country, but do you think there is any aspects of Japan that you think if improved would make international tourists happier?
I would say maybe a bit more of English-speaking people or workers, for example, in train stations or at the cashiers.
Yeah.
To be a bit more helpful, because like when you first arrive, you have no idea what the coins are like, for example, or where to go on the GR line somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, could be a bit more helpful, at least for first time coming to Japan.
Yeah, okay. I'm teaching English to Japanese people, so
Oh, thanks.
I have to hustle a bit more, I guess.
頑張って。
頑張ります. Okay, thank you for your cooperation.
Thanks to you.
ありがとうございますand merci beaucoup.
Je vous en prie, どうぞ.
どうぞありがとうございます. What country are you guys from?
I'm from the US.
The US.
From Ireland.
You're from Ireland. So we spoke maybe for like a minute before we started filming, but you have a mild Irish accent.
Yeah, it's a little bit mild. I've been living in the US for the last 5 years, so
Maybe that's
kind
why.
of lost it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because I live in Australia. Usually I stay in Australia. And I have spoken to many Irish people, and their English is, in a good way, one of the most challenging to understand sometimes.
Agreed.
I studied so much, but still struggle sometimes.
Yep.
American English, relatively easy for us, because in Japanese school we learn that. Yeah. Random question. How many countries have you guys visited so far in your life?
For me, I'd say definitely over 40.
Over 40?
Yeah.
Over 40?
Yeah.
Wow.
We counted recently.
Oh,
I think
really?
over 40.
So since, well, I'm pretty sure you're still young, but since you're really young,
Since maybe I was 1 year old, I've been traveling.
what the? Really?
Yes.
So your parents are more like a backpacker, tourist kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in India from when I was 1 to when I was 5.
Yeah.
And so I traveled there and in Asia then. I
All
don't
right.
remember much.
Yeah.
And then we used to travel every year since I was
Wow.
little. So
That's cool. Okay, I didn't expect that. 40.
Yeah.
Okay, the expectations are high now.
No, not as much as her for sure. Mine
Yeah.
maybe like 15 to like 20.
Yeah.
Maybe 15. Maybe around 15.
Yeah, so have I think.
Yeah.
So have I.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so the main question of this video is going to be like this. I want to know how you feel about Japan. How long have you stayed so far?
this maybe 2 or 3 days this time.
Yep.
We came last year for
Oh.
about 15 days.
Thank you for coming back.
And so we liked it so much that we came
We,
back.
just, we factored it into our trip to Korea.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we went to Korea for 10 days
Yeah.
and then came here for the last 6 days of our trip.
Okay, you are enjoying East Asia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, what aspects of Japan do you think is superior to your country?
America specifically doesn't have a sense of community as much as Japan does, in my opinion.
What do you mean by that?
In Japan, I feel like people just take care of each other, and that's part of when you grow up.
Yeah.
You learn that. You know, in
see,
elementary school, I saw videos of how you clean up
Yeah.
the whole classroom,
Yeah, yeah.
and you don't see bins anywhere, but people, you know, that's so clean in parks and around the city. If you come to San Francisco, it's not like that.
People are very individual.
I feel like people just care more about their own unit and themselves
Mm-hmm.
rather than here you're taught at a very young age to care for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean by sense of community. It's not just your neighborhood or
Yeah.
your friend group. It's you respect each other in a different way.
I see. What do you think?
Yeah, so Ireland is small, so I think there is kind of a sense of community and there is a kind of a strong culture because it's so small. For me, the biggest thing that I saw when I came here was kind of the order. Just kind of the order of
Kind of
things.
the order?
Yeah, like how organized Japanese people are, how people follow certain rules.
Yeah.
Everybody tends to follow the same rules.
Yeah.
In Ireland, I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but it's more fluid, I would
more
say.
fluid,
People
yeah.
are kind of doing their own kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's a double-edged
Yeah.
sword. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we kind of like feel like we are forced to follow the rules too much sometimes. But yeah, because of that, I think Japan can stay safe as well.
Yes.
So it's a good and bad, but I like the culture.
Yeah.
Okay. On the other hand, what aspects of your country now do you think is superior to Japan?
I can think of very few because I actually really enjoyed being here.
Okay.
But I think there is a lot of variety in America. So if you're looking for different things in a small area, you can pretty much get that. In Tokyo, you definitely can get that, but I'm sure in other areas of Japan, you can't get it as easily.
Nah.
But even if you're in a more rural part of America, you can still get everything at the grocery store and
Yeah,
everything is
see.
still stocked in the same way. And I've noticed that to Ireland as well. It's hard to get certain products or certain
is it?
things. Yeah, and so it
Yeah.
becomes easier when, I guess it's, again, consumerism a little bit, but we just have everything in every
And they have
part
a
of
lot,
the country.
A lot more cultures, right, in the US. So there's
Yeah, I
more, even though there's a lot of variety in Tokyo for food, I'm sure in rural Japan it is mostly just Japanese food. Whereas in the US, no matter where you go, you can kind of get maybe at least 3 or 4 different types of cuisines, if not more,
Yeah.
depending on where you go.
We have a bit of Chinese food because I'm from a very countryside, and sometimes you can find Indian food as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it, you know. And also about the diversity, you said we're missing kind of diversity in Japan. In Tokyo, yes, there is, but in the countryside, definitely still not. So the norm is really strong. So if you're out of norm, you're like
But I think
outside.
that also
Yeah, what are you doing, kind of thing.
like
you know?
gaijin.
I think that also helps maintain the culture here, though.
Yeah.
Right. That there's less, less diversity, which there's pros and cons to that. So I think maintaining the culture is easier that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Pros and cons, though.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
I believe that is also one of the reasons why it's so hard for foreign peoples to get the permanent residency in Japan, because people wants to protect the own culture.
Sure.
That's what I think.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, last question. I want to make Japan better. I think everyone wants to make Japan better for everyone, not only for Japanese people, but for foreign people as well. Are there any aspects of Japan that you think, if improved, would make international tourists happier?
I think that Japan has made it very easy because they have a lot of English signage, especially in Tokyo. There's a lot of people that know a few English words. Tourists should also maybe take effort to learn a few pleasantries and in Japanese, like sumimasen or arigatou gozaimasu. But maybe to make it easier for tourists staying for a little bit longer, like 1 month or 2 months, to make it easier to find a place to stay or get a bank account or you know do a few of those normal everyday things, because I have friends who live here and they find that very difficult to get started. Otherwise I think it's wonderful. So yeah, maybe just make it easier for people to come in, and it would be great if there was maybe, there's Japanese school for kanji and things, but maybe not for the social norms that you learn growing up that maybe we don't learn in different countries. So if someone wants to stay for a long time, I'm sure they want to take an etiquette class or something. I'm not sure if that's available, but maybe that would be easier for someone who's more of an outsider to fit in.
Right.
And then we can preserve the culture as well.
Yeah, right.
For me, this is not necessarily about making it easier for tourists, but I'm quite interested in history when I go to countries. I feel like maybe the one thing, and obviously there's a lot of shrines, and maybe I just haven't done the right research, but I feel like it's hard to find some of the history.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit for me, just personally. Maybe that's just my own fault, but I'd like to know more basically about the history of Japan.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite interested in that. So.
Okay. All right. I didn't think about it's hard to make banks and stuff, because it could be true, because I live in Australia and it was pretty easy to make a bank account if you have a working holiday visa. You might stay only for a month or two, but you can still make a bank account pretty easily. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty tricky here, I guess. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Enjoy your time in Japan.
Thank you.
What country are you from?
Canada.
Canada.
Yes.
Do you live in the French side or Canadian side?
On Canadian side.
So-
I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
Okay. I think there are many Japanese people in Canada. Have you seen them much?
Not many Japanese. Not where I'm from, anyways. I think they're more so on the West Coast.
West
right,
Coast.
around Vancouver area.
Yeah, around Vancouver.
Yeah.
Okay, so you speak English and French as well?
No French.
No French, yeah?
No, it's English and it's Koshi Nihongo.
Oh, 少し日本語。
ね
少し日本語。Okay. How did you learn that? 少し日本語。
Here in Japan.
Okay.
Here for 1 month to learn Japanese.
Oh wait, how long have you stayed here so far?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. What was the purpose to come here anyway first?
To learn Japanese.
To learn Japanese?
Yeah,
Literally?
that was the point of coming out, yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So you're not just traveling around, you're here to learn
here
Japanese?
to learn Japanese. Yeah, I spent 1 month in Tokyo.
Okay.
And then I go back.
What made you interested in Japanese?
Lots of it.
Yeah?
I read a lot of manga, watch a lot of anime. I like the music.
Okay.
Sushi.
Sushi?
Sushi, so good.
So the question is gonna be like this. Is this your first stay in Japan?
Hi.
Hi. So then, have you visited any other countries in your life?
I've been to Mexico.
Okay.
Briefly to the U.S., but other than that, Japanese is the farthest I've traveled.
Okay.
Or Japan.
Okay. So then, let me ask you about your country then. Okay, this is very random question, but what aspect of Japan do you think is superior to Canada?
I think the history.
History?
The history. There's way more history in Japan, right? Like a lot of the temples, a lot of the shrines.
Okay.
May have been rebuilt, but they predated almost a century before my country was even a country, right?
See. Can you feel it?
I can. And I've been going around getting all my goshuin and checking out all the shrines.
Okay.
Right, and I really appreciate the history.
Yeah,
and the
okay.
culture is very strong here too.
Yeah, culture
right?
is strong.
Culture is strong.
Yeah, the
And
people say that.
Yeah.
Do you also feel this?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, okay.
Right, and it's such a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. I believe you have a fresh air in Canada too.
Oh, very fresh air.
Yeah.
But a different type of fresh.
It's actually true because whenever I go other countries, also my hometown, which is pretty in the countryside,
Yeah.
I feel the air smells different, and it's always fresh.
Yeah.
So it's good to be somewhere else.
And on the other side too, it is now November 29th, and I am still in a t-shirt.
Oh yes.
You know, in my home right now, we've
You're
got a
freezing.
foot of snow. I'm in a parka. It's super cold, so
Yeah.
I've been loving this right now.
But I feel like it's only in Tokyo because I'm from pretty north, like I said.
Oh,
and
you see
it
snow.
was pretty cold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and it was really weird. Not weird because, like I said, I live in Australia, and in Australia people do whatever they like to do. But in Japan, because like you said, the culture is strong, so you kind of have to follow the culture and also the norm that people have.
Definitely.
It was November. It was in this month. I was in my hometown, which was pretty cold, but not for me.
Yeah.
And then I was in t-shirt, went to a ramen restaurant,
Yeah.
and then I walked in, and suddenly the owner of the shop said, "Oh, why are you wearing t-shirt?" And I was like, "What's the problem?" And he was like, "Oh no, I'm just asking, like, because it's normal. The people wear like a jacket in November." They asked me, but which never happens in Australia because people are all different.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is a very Japanese thing. Okay, so next question. On the other hand, what aspects of Canada you think is superior to Japan?
Our mountains.
Mountains.
The mountains. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mount Fuji is amazing.
Amazing.
But
yeah.
we have the Rocky Mountains going through, right? And it is just breathtaking.
Yeah.
Right? Going through there, and we do have not that many people for the amount of space we have. So you really get to see like the landscape really well for what it is. But also, to touch back, the train system here is so adept, right? That's very impressive on its own.
You like it?
Oh, it's very confusing for me, but thank goodness Google Maps is my friend.
Okay, thanks to the technology nowadays.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it 30 years ago.
Yeah. Nah. So the last question is gonna be like this: you're from Canada and spending time in Japan, and I want to make Japan even greater. Not for only Japanese people, but also for foreign people. I believe everyone feels the same. And my question is, are there any things of Japan that you think, if improved, would make international tourists happier?
I can't think of much, but one thing that does stick out is maybe a few more garbage cans.
Few more garbage cans.
Just a few more.
Yeah, that's what the people say.
Yeah. Beyond that, I wouldn't change too much. I really love this place, and this might be my first time here, but I will definitely be back again.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
So we should stay as it is.
Yes. Just add a couple more garbage cans.
Yeah, a couple more garbage cans, yeah?
Yeah.
And that'll make foreign tourists happier.
Hi, and then yeah, and hopefully by the time I come here next time, I will be speaking Japanese much more fluently.
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
はい、ということでここまでですね、来日外国人に日本の優れているところと逆に自分の国の方が優れていると思うところ、ここについてですねインタビューさせていただきました。すっごい小さなことなんですけど、フランス人のお姉さん言ってましたよね。チーズ、これすごくですね、日本に住んでる外国人からよく聞くし、僕もオーストラリア住んでも9年なんですけど、これはね僕も思います。結構日本でもいわゆる美味しいイタリアンとかフレンチとか、食べる機会がないということは僕もないんですよ。でも普通にオーストラリアとかで、普通の昼ご飯で食べるなんかピザの上に乗ってるチーズとかの方が異常にうまーみたいな感じを受けることやっぱ多いんですよね。それから今日はアイルランドの方にも動画出ていただきましたけど、皆さんどうでしたでしょうか。アイルランド独特のアクセントみたいなの気づきましたでしょうか。今回出てくれたお兄さんに関してはですね、そんなにアイリッシュアクセント強くなかったんですけども、もうこればっかりはですね、アイリッシュアクセント、それからスコティッシュ アクセントね、スコットランドのここら辺は僕オーストラリア住んでて未だに英語をやってもだいぶ時間経ってますけど結構聞き取るのに苦労するアクセントですね。ただこういう独特のアクセントいろいろ触れられるっていうのも僕の動画の強みだと思いますので、ぜひですね少しでも楽しかった、勉強になったと思った方チャンネル登録して次の動画楽しみに待っていただけたらと思います。ここで最後になりますが、しっかりここまで動画を見てくれた皆さんに大事なお知らせです。いつも動画を見てくれてる皆さんに日頃の感謝を込めて僕の公式 LINE 大幅アップデートさせていただきました。英語が聞き取れる魔法のワーク、英語動詞完全攻略、英単語超暗記法、今すぐ使える英語相槌フレーズ150選、超頻出日常英会話フレーズ100選、英語の語文系をもう一度分かりやすく、間違うと危険な似てる英単語100選、超現代風瞬間英作文100選、漢詩完全マスター、派生語マスター100選。これらの10冊の僕のオリジナルの電子書籍ですね、過去に開催した LINE フレンド限定のライブコーチングに参加してくれた方に無料でプレゼントしていたものなんですが、この公式 LINE ですね、友達追加してくれた方全員にこれらをプレゼントさせていただきます。この他にも各種英語のフレーズ集ですとかコミュ力爆上げ法10選など、僕のオリジナルの電子書籍必ず皆さんの英語学習に役に立つものとなっております。知ってるだけじゃなくてしっかり使えるようになっていきたいと思う皆さん、ぜひですねこの動画の概要欄の一番上に僕の公式のリンクありますので、そちらから友達追加して豪華無料特典全て受け取ってください。多様性が比較的ないというふうに言われる日本だけど、それがゆえに文化が保たれて今に至ってるのかもしれないなとか、だけど多様性のある文化も素敵だし、普通という柱がマイルドになっていく分自分らしく生きやすくなっていきそうだよなとか、何が変わったとしても長所と短所はあるんだけども、こうやって日本人だけじゃなくて外の声を聞いてみるとすごく楽しいなって、楽しいなって、この動画を見たことで外にいる外国人観光客の考えを知るのって楽しいなって、そういう風に思っちゃってるあなたがそこにいるのであれば、見るだけで頭の中グローバル化しちゃったんだよ。最後まで見てくれた皆さんありがとうございます。面白いと思ってもらえた方はチャンネル登録忘れずに、高評価も忘れずに、また次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバイ。